our most anticipated movies of 2021. What?
Sure.
Right before you were saying that you're kind of disappointed in this year's slate. Now, it is important to note that we are already in April. So we have 3 full months out of the way, and now 7 days of our 4th month out of the way. So Nebi, what
Well,
is so disappointing about this year?
this year, movies just like whack straight up. I don't really care for any of them, to be frank.
That's interesting because I would have expected for this year to be more stacked than any other because of what happened last year with COVID and all the delays, where so many
Yeah.
of those movies that were so big and so anticipated last year got pushed to this year. What,
Yeah.
like, just a bit more tangible, like, what constitutes a good movie or anticipation wise for you? Like when you went into 2019 and you knew Endgame was coming and you knew John Wick 3 was coming, you knew some of these smaller movies that are that are made by some big directors are coming. Was that what really put it up there, or what constitutes a good movie year to look forward to for you?
Well, for an example, I guess I would say I was looking forward to the Batman. Right, that was supposed to come out in 2021. I looked online; it's coming out 2022. So I guess
The what? Maybe say that the title again.
the Batman.
Oh, the Batman. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is actually something I did not know. I thought the Batman was still coming out in 2021.
Uh,
Hmm.
the babundas, the buffaloes.
We have lost a fellow. Does Zack Snyder's Justice League make up for the Batman leaving, Nebi?
No, definitely not.
Nebi did watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. You liked it, right?
I did like
Okay.
it.
I am still yet to watch. I hope to watch it sometime over the next week. So, Nebi, you have your 5, right? Your top 5 most anticipated.
Yeah.
Was it difficult to make your list, or because you might have been disappointed, but it still might have been hard to make the list in and of itself?
It was kind of easy. I just pointed out like really I could even like recall ever hearing about most of the
There are a lot of movies that I did forget were even coming out this year. Like Mission Impossible 7,
movies.
I would have expected for Mission Impossible 7 to have a bit more I guess marketing and more around hype around it, but there just isn't really that much. And also trailers, I don't know. I don't think trailers for this year's movies have been that great. Like the Suicide Squad, the 2 trailers that have come out have actually decreased my anticipation for the 2 films. What
Yeah, the first trailer for Suicide Squad was straight up so garbage. It was like
it
another
was
Marvel movie.
so
I'm not.
bad. It didn't even feel like a Marvel. It felt
Yeah,
different but the same. It just felt generic to me.
it
Where
was so trash. It was so unfunny.
I was I'm not sure if I was hoping for because it's being directed by James Gunn. I'm not sure if I was genuinely necessarily hoping for a Guardians of the Galaxy type movie, but I feel like I was sort of expecting that, and that's what most people are expecting. It doesn't seem like the comedy, the jokes that they put into the trailer. It might be the editing of the trailer itself, but it just doesn't seem good. I hope a new trailer comes out that is better though.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
how about recently Space Jam: A New Legacy? That trailer dropped. What did you think of that?
I think it's not necessary. And I saw it, and I don't know if LeBron is gonna be because I saw that he was a cartoon character, which is just crazy, absolutely insane. For most of the, I don't know if it's gonna be most of the movie. I know he's gonna be like really there for most of it, but I thought there was a cartoon. I really want
Yeah, one good thing I could say about the new Space Jam movie, I think LeBron might be a better actor than Michael Jordan. So that might be going for it. Outside of that, apparently they're bringing in like Scooby Doo and other universes. They're bringing in like a Ready Player One and stuff like that. So I'm not sure how well they'll be able to execute that. I always look forward to just seeing movies because I am a cinephile, but I'm not sure how much I'm anticipating the movies that trailers have dropped for. So both of the trailers that dropped for these two, Suicide Squad and Space Jam: A New Legacy, have actually decreased my excitement. Hopefully, something better will come out soon. Outside of that, I am actually pretty hype for the next 8 months of movies. I Looking back, I have made a long list with about 27 movies that I am looking forward to going on. Uh, I will probably go run through that long list as we go through the podcast. But Nebi, you wanna start off with your list, or let's start off with some honorable mentions. Do you have any honorable mentions?
No, it has your honorable mentions.
Wow, you are only anticipating 5 movies.
If I could put less movies on my list, I would.
That is very interesting. Okay, well, I I do have honorable mentions. Um, Now I actually had a very hard time making my list, where I it's I don't think I had like a hard time in the general sense where there are like 8 movies that I really really wanted, and I couldn't pick which 5 to have. It was more, there were really like 2 movies that I really really wanted, and then the rest of them were kind of just all fighting for the other 3 spots, and I didn't know which of those 3 to put. So in my honorable mentions, I do have Wrath of Man, which is a action movie coming out from Guy Ritchie. Do you know who Guy Ritchie is, Nebi?
Guy Ritchie. I've definitely heard the name before.
Do you remember The Gentleman?
Oh yeah.
Same guy that made The Gentleman. Same guy that made Snatch, which is one of my personal favorite movies. I really like Snatch. But Wrath of Man, that I am looking forward to. It unfortunately did not make my top 5. Army of the Dead, that is a movie I am looking forward to, but it's like if there was a scale from 0 to 10, or negative 10 to 10 of anticipation, if I just negative 10 being, I do not care for this at all, and I do not want to see it whatsoever, and 10 being I will be, if you could give it to me now, I would give you money for it. This would be like at a 1 where I'm not super into it. It's the newest Zack Snyder film. It's a zombie movie. I love zombie movies. That's probably why it even has that 1. Zack Snyder is cool. I don't I haven't seen the Justice League. It's I'll see what I think of it. The French Dispatch, which will be the newest Wes Anderson movie. That is a movie I am looking forward to. It did not crack my top 5 because I wanted to have 2 movies on my list where they're coming out by like auteur directors, and The French Dispatch just didn't make it. Killers of the Flower Moon, the newest Martin Scorsese movie. Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I remember seeing the trailer for a little while back, and I liked the trailer. It has Paul Rudd. I like Paul Rudd. Fast 9, which I just saw the trailer for yesterday. Nebi, did you see or 2 days ago? Did you see the Fast 9 trailer in the theaters?
No, I didn't
Yeah.
see any.
Oh, you got there late. I forgot. But Fast 9, I've only seen like 2 or 3 Fast and Furious movies. Fast 9, it's it has John Cena. That's probably my biggest reason. When I was a kid, I was a very big John Cena fan. I still am a pretty big John Cena fan. Sherlock Holmes 3 is
Oh,
Sherlock Holmes.
I didn't know about this.
Robert Downey Jr. is in it. I am not 100% sure if it is still coming out, but last I checked, it has a 2021 release date.
Which one is it? The third one?
The third Sherlock Holmes movie, December of 2021. Robert Downey Jr., Jude Law. I'm not sure if it's still coming out, but I hope it does. That is still my honorable mentions. I hope it does come out. Mission Impossible 7. I'm looking forward to it. And as with any other Marvel product, any of the Marvel movies that are not in my list, you can expect from me to be looking forward to that. Now, Nevi, now that I've got my honorable mentions out the way, I will allow for you to say your number 5.
Mine. Well, now that you just reminded me about Sherlock Holmes, I would like to reveal my
Hmm.
honorable mention. I would like to state
Okay.
number 5. It was Clifford the Big Red Dog coming out 2021.
There's a Clifford movie coming out.
Ooh,
Are you for real?
I'm not joking.
Yo, there's a Clifford movie coming out, guys. Also, have you seen the new? They changed up Clifford on
It,
PBS Kids. It looks
oh
horrible.
yeah.
I Oh my goodness, is this a live action Clifford the Big Red Dog?
Well,
Yo, did they just paint Clifford red?
that actually looks bad though. That looks horrible.
Oh my goodness, Nebby. You put this over some of the other movies that I just mentioned? Oh my goodness.
That I did that was no, it's because I thought the picture that I saw was with the red like cartoon Clifford. I didn't see this.
Oh my goodness.
Bro, I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be fine. Who knows?
We'll see. But interesting choice. But that's honorable mention. Okay. So what is your number 5 now, Nebby?
My number 5 is going to be Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Uh I don't know. We've talked about this a little bit already. The trailer has put me off. I would I'm not sure how much I would actually recommend this, and this doesn't sound bad given that it's my own video. But we did react to the DCU trailers. I'm not necessarily saying I would recommend it because it's not much of a conversation. It's just us watching the videos. So I think, well, actually, you might want to skip forward because we did rank the our our anticipation. The Suicide Squad was fairly high for me in that video, but now it has fallen very low for me. It's not
Yeah.
even one of my honorable mentions at this point, but I am kind of anticipating that. Nebby, why are you anticipating the Suicide Squad so much?
Bro, don't say so much. I
Oh,
didn't.
I forgot. I don't know. I'm thinking of this as a top 5, not a Nebby top 5. Nebby has interesting rankings, especially when it comes to our movie rankings that we do for the podcast.
Well, I didn't like the first one. Um, I just think that this one has a really big cast. I hear the director's good. I hear it's gonna be really fun. Like I saw like a behind the scenes kind of thing about it.
Mm.
So maybe it's
All right,
trailer, but
Nebby. Real quick before we move on, the cast for the original Suicide Squad, Will Smith. I guess Margot Robbie is now in both of them. Who else was in the original Suicide Squad? Jared Leto,
yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. Uh, versus the new one, which was John Cena. You have Idris Elba. Still have Margot Robbie. I think you have Pete Davidson now.
Oh,
Which cast do you prefer?
100% the first one.
The first?
I don't like this cast at all.
Oh, okay. Not even okay. For me, my what'd you say?
Maybe they can surprise me. The reason I don't like it is because I haven't really seen most of the actors in the new cast, and
Oh,
John
okay.
Cena is really out of place.
I as my fandom for John Cena is from the WWE universe. I was one of the big. I love the WWE. I'm not sure if I love him as much as a current day actor. I liked his like back in the day movies when he was still a wrestler and he just kind of made like B movies that were not very good, but they were super enjoyable, just like Godzilla vs. Kong. Go check out that podcast. But
I
I
can't believe you.
like the reunion. I absolutely love that movie. John Cena, weird actor. The block, he was good in the blockers though. John Cena is like The Rock, or he's like a lot of like actors who go on from some sort of a sport to acting, where they just have their persona and they don't really act. They just kind of are themselves.
Oh, yeah. Think about, bro, you're a John Cena fan? I was always what's his
Batista.
name? Batista fan, yeah.
Yeah, my dad was a Batista fan. I was absolutely a John Cena fan. My number 5 is No Time to Die. Uh, the last Daniel Craig James Bond movie. I I never really. Are you a big James Bond fan, Nebby?
James Bond? I haven't seen any of James Bond movies.
I would recommend watching them. They are good movies. I would definitely recommend watching Casino Royale and Skyfall. No Time to Die. It looks interesting. I feel like it's almost a guaranteed good movie. It's the last Daniel Craig movie. I don't know if we're gonna see Idris Elba as the next James Bond, but it's kind of like it's the Avengers Endgame to a lot of James Bond fans. I wouldn't put myself as the biggest James Bond fan, but I do like seeing the movies. I will go ahead and state my number 4, which is Venom Let There Be Carnage, which
The DC, I mean the Marvel universe.
is it in the Marvel universe?
Yeah,
I know
maybe
it's a
not.
Marvel product, but I don't think they're moving into the Marvel universe yet. Tom Hardy is one of my favorite actors. I am a big fan of the original Venom. I know a lot of people don't like the movie. I enjoyed it. Saw it in theaters when it came out. I am proud that I gave my money away for that.
Yeah.
I am hype for the next Venom. If you are not a Venom, if you're a Venom hater, just do you. Don't let me know about it. Nebby, what's your number 4?
I am a Venom hater, yeah.
Just do you. Don't I don't need to know about that, man. I'm just sitting in my corner. I'm liking Venom. I'm waiting and anticipating Venom Let There Be Carnage. I will be there opening day. Nebby, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Dune.
Dune?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And,
I wasn't
mhm.
You don't seem like a Dune guy to me.
I mean, I don't know anything about Dune. I just know that it's based off this book that people say is really good. So that's
Mm.
the only reason to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, Dune, it is on my long list of movies that I am anticipating, or at least I thought it was until I apparently took it off of my. Or no, it is it's right here. Dune trailer dropped a little while back. This is another movie that was supposed to come out last year, now coming out this year. It is directed by Denis Villeneuve, who I personally think is the best director of the past 10 years. That is one of the reasons why it's on my long list. I don't know much about the product itself, and that's why I didn't really put it up here. I did not watch the original Dune. I've never read the book. It has a nice cast. It has Timothée Chalamet and other human beings. Who's in Dune? I remember it has Zendaya. That's what I'm thinking of, and Jason Momoa. It has Batista too, apparently. It looks interesting. I don't know enough about it to be putting it in my top 5. Nebby, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Mission Impossible 7. Now, I really liked the last Mission Impossible. I thought that was a great movie.
Mhm.
And I haven't seen any of the other ones behind the last one, but the plot was amazing. The characters were amazing, and the fight was amazing too.
I have not seen any of the Mission Impossibles. Now, one of my goals for this year, movie wise, is for the 3 big franchises: Mission Impossible, James Bond, or not big, but 3 of the big franchises: Mission Impossible, James Bond, and Fast and Furious. Before those movies come out, I want to watch all of the movies of the franchises that I haven't watched yet. For Mission Impossible, that is all of them up until this point. So, once again, this is just one where I don't know enough, or I don't have enough knowledge of the Mission Impossible movies to be anticipating anything. My number 3 is a movie called Babylon, which is being directed by Damien Chazelle. Nevi, you might know him as the guy that made 2 movies that I talk a lot about in Whiplash and La La Land. It is another film about Hollywood. The cast has Brad Pitt in it, and I am a very, very big Brad Pitt fan. Who I remember, there is somebody else in the cast. Nebi, who is I cannot remember the person. Margot Robbie. It has Brad Pitt. It has Margot Robbie. It is about Hollywood. It is being directed by Damien Chazelle, a maker the director, the guy behind two of my favorite movies of the past decade, Babylon. I'm very much looking forward to. At number two for me is Last Night in Soho, which is my second movie from the auteur that I spoke of, the auteur category. Babylon was my first. Babylon was my first with Damien Chazelle. Last Night in Soho, Edgar Wright film. Edgar Wright is another one of my favorite directors. He has made 5 movies. All 5 of them are amazing. His last movie was Baby Driver. Last Night in Soho is a horror movie, and I cannot think of anything better for Edgar Wright to do. And I am anticipating Last Night in Soho so hard right now, and that is why it is at number 2. Nebi, you're number 2.
My number 2 is Sherlock Holmes. Well, yeah, so Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes 3. It might be possible that we have the same number 1. Nebi, is your number 1 Spider-Man Far No Way Home? Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. This is a movie that we haven't necessarily talked about extensively, but we have speculated about extensively on other podcasts that we have done, and I don't want to get too repetitive, so you can go check out any of those. All I will say is the end of Spider-Man Far From Home is one of the biggest reasons why, for me, it is so anticipated. It is a Marvel product. For me, I forced myself to only have one Marvel product, and that would be Spider-Man No Way Home. And now that I'm looking through it, I think that's the only Marvel product that I would even have in my top 5. Nebi, aside from Spider-Man No Way Home, are you anticipating any of the other Marvel products?
What? Like Black Widow and like this Kung Fu
Black
movie?
Widow, Shang-Chi, and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and the Eternals.
Legend of the Ten Rings. That's a
Yes.
movie?
Yes. And also, it's not here because I'm not sure if it is a 2021. It is 2022. Yeah, Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness. That is 2022. Now,
I don't know about this.
you did not know about Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness?
That's coming out this year? No.
That is coming out next year.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you think that we are ever gonna get a solo movie like Iron Man I'm not sure if Homecoming would even count because Iron Man shows up in Homecoming, but like an Iron Man, Thor, Ant-Man, OG Doctor Strange, like any of those. Do you think we're ever gonna get a solo film like that again in the MCU?
Probably not, just because of how much. I mean, I don't think they should, like, because there's no reason to try to start some new stuff once you with this whole world, keep it moving.
Yeah. Now, of my long list of the 27 movies that I'm anticipating, I have said the majority of them. All these Marvels, including Venom, which I guess I'm going to count as Marvel for now. There's the Suicide Squad. A Quiet Place Part 2 is one that I really contemplate putting on my list. And now I'm thinking about that is another honorable mention for me. It is a movie that I really look forward to last year. It has been postponed a lot, and I am looking forward to watching it this year. Top Gun Maverick. I've never seen the first Top Gun, but I know a good bit about it. I'm looking forward to Top Gun Maverick. A bit of a weak spot for me, movies wise, where it's like these movies aren't always the best, but I always enjoy them. Is the Purge franchise? The Forever Purge is coming out this year. I don't think there's been a Purge movie in like 4 or 5 years at this point. I'm super looking forward to that. I said Ghostbusters Afterlife, Matrix Resurrections. Nebi, our resident Matrix hater. You know about this? Matrix 4?
Yeah, I had those shooting in like London or someplace, but then it stopped because of those.
Are you looking forward to this at all?
I'm not looking forward to
You are not. Have you watched any of the other Matrix movies aside from the original?
No, I heard it was the worst, so I haven't.
They are. The thing is, the second one, I don't think it's better, but it's still. I think the second one is good. Matrix Reloaded is good. The third one is horrible, in my opinion. I would not. But have you seen the? When was the last time you saw the first Matrix?
I've only seen it once, and it was like I don't know who recommended I watch it. If it was you or was it
It was
Nakia?
probably me here. You should watch it again. I feel like you should watch it again. I don't think you would hate it as much as you did the first
Really?
time. The Matrix is a good movie. The Matrix Resurrections. If I were to rank my anticipation of these movies that are on my long list, Resurrections would probably be at the bottom. But I definitely am still like looking forward to watching it. I know that I will be watching it. Candyman. Do you know
I
about
like that.
Candyman, Nebby?
No.
There is a new Candyman movie coming out. I have I saw the 1992 Candyman. I remember being like creeped out in a weird way by it. Lakeith Stanfield is in the next Candyman. Yahya Abdul Mateen II, who was in Trial of Chicago 7, who was amazing in Trial of Chicago 7, who was amazing in Trial of the Chicago 7 is in it. I am looking forward to this movie. It has a very stacked cast of African American actors. I did not know this was a mainly African American movie, but the new Candyman I am looking forward to. And Free Guy, which was once again supposed to come out last year. And finally, Cruella. I have a very big crush on Emma Stone. I think that might be my go-to answer if I'm ever asked like who's your Hollywood crush? Emma Stone. And Cruella, that's the last thing I'm looking forward to. Now, Nebby, before we sign off for this week, one last conversation. How do you feel about just the current state of movies in that in I'll go with my list. And if I were to go to your list too, I'm sure that it's pretty rampant with the just like the monopoly of IP films or like just brand name films where Nebby three, four of your five, I'm not going to count Dune, but Dune also technically counts. Four of your five movies are all a part of a franchise in some way. Sherlock Holmes 3, Mission Impossible 7, Spider-Man 3, The Suicide Squad, I guess technically 2. Dune, technically is a 2 again, but not necessarily. For me, when I did the calculations, of my four, I came up with four different categories. Movies I'm anticipating because of the actor or the actress. Movies I'm anticipating because of a director behind it or auteur behind it. IP films that I am anticipating, and within that IP, a sub branch of just Marvel films I'm anticipating. Now, Marvel films alone make up about 19% of my list. Now, IP films make up a bit over 40%, on just under 50. Nebby, of your most anticipated, they make up 80% of your list, just of your five. Director and actor, that makes up the other half. But me, I am a bit more of a cinephile in that sense, and I am a bit of an anomaly there. Nevertheless, every single movie on both of our lists have some sort of auteur, some sort of big name behind it that is driving it. Do you have any thoughts on just that entire concept of the Hollywood structure in and of itself, where you're not going to be making a whole bunch of money for your film just off of it being a great plot? You have to have somebody big behind it.
I disagree. I feel like first you have to. The only reason that people are big in the first place is because they had a great plot to begin with. The only reason I like Sherlock Holmes is not because of Robert Downey Jr. I actually liked it before Iron Man. I just it was the plot was good for me, and that's what made me like really like
That's
Sherlock Holmes.
interesting. I don't like it's genuinely impossible to make it in Hollywood without having somebody big behind you. Where get any direct, you can go back to Quentin Tarantino. His first film, Reservoir Dogs. First of all, it didn't make that much money because it was his first film. Nobody knew who he was at that moment. It made a good amount of money for it being his first film and it being a small film. But the fact that I even made that money is because there were big names producing it. Now, Sherlock Holmes, that is not necessarily like that. I don't, no offense, I don't think that's a good example. That might have been just like a you picked it example because it's there. Sherlock Holmes is one of like the biggest names out there. That Sherlock Holmes is like Frankenstein, like that level of just names where you know who Sherlock Holmes is, and that's you go there to watch it because you know who Sherlock Holmes, the master detective.
That's factual.
Like, that's just the way that stuff is built. That's just the way that in general media is consumed nowadays, where it's hard to get anywhere without having a big name. It is not necessarily, it's hard, but it's not impossible to get anyone to not get anywhere without a good idea, or just with a good idea. You have to have a bit of a combination of all of these. How many, and would you say that like that combination, the big name, the good idea, the good plot, which one of those three, or which one of anything that you might even come up with outside of those three, like I just stated, the idea, the plot, the name itself, is the most rampant throughout your list, or is the one that draws you the most as a moviegoer?
It's a big name, definitely.
All right, because
The big name is because they get plot.
or yeah, it's just in human nature at that point, where as much as a film snob such as myself would like to say, oh, I do not care that that is a Marvel movie. I don't care that there's a big director behind that. I only watch these small movies over here, and I only care about anything that is not popular. It's hard to even be exposed to things that are not popular. And that is a big part of how just fame in itself works, right? Now, Nebi, before we head off, outside of just movies, is there anything just in your life that is happening in 2021 that you would like to just, share? What are you looking forward to in 2021 outside of the cinema world?
Outside of the CinemaVerse, well, I'm graduating, yeah, we know that,
We are
in
graduating
May.
this year.
For the first time, we're going to Georgia Tech as it appears now.
Really?
Um,
That is how it is
yeah,
appearing.
I don't know. This is my,
Are you
my
gonna
life.
get a job over the summer?
Probably not. Maybe.
Neb. Now, if you guys are listening to this and you are not subscribed to Nebi's channel, I feel that is a sin in and of itself. Neb the Hub, link will be down in the description.
Sure, and at the hub, back post every Sunday, maybe some Wednesdays. People that can go watch all my old videos too. And like
Yeah, just watch them all. He has, I think, what are you on, like vlog number 45 ish, or vlog number 40?
around this.
Oh, you're about to hit 50, aren't you? Big vlog number 50 coming up. It is vouched by me. It is gonna be funny, at least for our friends. But all right, Nebs, thank you for being a part of our conversation about our most anticipated movies of 2021. Previous podcast was Godzilla versus Kong. Link will be in the description, and it will be up in the eye up there. If you are listening on Spotify, all you have to do is click that back button. Thank you so much for listening. Nebs, thank you for your insight. Peace.
Pleasure. Pleasure.